different expression from the last one. Okay, so this first one, we're going to start with a couple of ovals, just like we did kind of when we drew these before. Now we're on number 5, top left corner, big oval. Like I said, I start kind of light to start with, just to make sure I got plenty of room. And if I need to change anything, I can erase it easy enough. Like that second oval didn't go quite as well as the first one, but that's why I drew it light enough so I could change it. I'm going to come down here and round that bottom off a little more. Okay, now that I've got it kind of where I want it, now I'll darken that in a little bit. Make sure you don't darken any lines in before their time, so to speak. And then we're going to put a very interesting mouth on this here in just a second. Okay, so this mouth is going to be a little different shaped. It's going to look like the letter M. If this is just a regular letter M like this, we're going to take a letter M and we're going to spread it way out like this. And then we're going to make it look like a big thick letter M, rounding off the back side, coming up, rounding off the other side. So it's going to be more like that, okay? So a little different, but still the letter M, right? So we'll come back over here. I'm going to go way over here, and then I'm going to come down between the eyes, go back up, and go back down. So just do that part first. Big letter M. It's not thick yet, it's just a thin line right now. Oh, wait, no, you're back. Yeah, yeah. Wasn't. Well, I had to see that person anyway, so it worked out. Okay, bottom part of that, we're just going to round off the end, come back up, and make a parallel line, and round it back off, just like that. Oh, I see a difference. I didn't catch it the first time. I'm going to have to erase right here. Sorry, guys. My bad. So if your line was a little dark right there and doesn't erase perfectly, that's on me, not on you. I just noticed a little detail that I didn't see before. So we're just going to erase between this bump and that bump. So the little bump is right there still, but now we got a blank spot. Now I'm going to come down here and make more like a letter U right here, like that. It's a little different shape. Sorry. Okay, just have you fix that. And here's what I missed. It's a little tongue right there. So just like before, you can make it like a little bird shape or like a little bum. We'll go a little bum kind of shape right there. And now we got a little tiny tongue right there. And I like this one because it was very expressive. And we're going to add a whole bunch of expressive details here in just a second. So for the mouth, there's just one more thing, and it's a little bottom lip. And it goes right here. We'll draw that underneath it. And I will make a slight change on this one from the original, but not too much of a change. I'm going to stay pretty close to it. The only change I'm probably going to make is this part in here inside the mouth. Eventually we'll color that in black, and it's white on the original here. but because it is the inside of the mouse, we will make it black a little later. Okay, before we do anything else, I'm going to come over here and we're going to work on the eyes for a second. So I'm going to put a little frowny face towards the bottom coming across my eye like this. A little frowny face coming right across the eye like that. Now it's on the bottom part, okay? And that's not the eyeball down here. The eyeball's actually going to go up here. If I get too far ahead or something, just raise your hand, let me know so you don't get way behind. All right, 2 more ovals. These are big. This is where the pupil is going to go. Just a great big one right there. Another great big one right there. It's almost the full length of that opening. Those are pretty big. Okay. And then I'm going to put a little half circle right here for the shiny part. A little half circle right there for the shiny part. We'll come back and color that in later. I'm going to do it right now. Now this one is very expressive, but it is kind of a sad one. So we're going to put a little nose right in here, right between the eyes, a little nose right there, and then just a little dip that goes down right here for the upper lip, just like that. You're just following this shape here, you're just putting a line above it. You've got a little bottom lip, little upper lip. And we're going to put some eyebrows on here that really help with the expression. So this little eyebrow is going to go right. Is everybody caught up with me, or does anybody need a second? Okay, this little eyebrow is going to go right here. And this little eyebrow is going to go right here, and they kind of come down near the head, but they peak higher between the eyes, right there. My compliments to whoever drew this. When they drew the hair, they did it correctly. They had their pencil down and then lifted up at the end, so they would get a point on it. So that was down, lift up like that, down, lift up like that, and down, lift up like that. So there's a little point on the end of your line, and it's not just cut off straight. So good job. All right, now we need to take a little minute and start coloring some of this stuff in. So of course we'll do the eye first. And remember, go around your outer edge first. You want a nice smooth edge around it, not lumpy to the outside. Go around your little shiny spot and just fill that thing in. Okay, just changes the whole expression once you fill that in a little bit. Okay, those are good and black. That little bottom eyelid right here, I'm going to just lightly color that in. I just don't want it to be white is all. Just going to lightly color it in using the side of my pencil, coloring very carefully so it doesn't look like scribble. Do that on this one too. So we got just lightly colored in, and then the last dark part will be the inside of the mouth here. So I'm going to go around the edge, just like we did with the eye pupil. So I'm going around the lip, I'm going around the little tongue right here, around this side of the lip. And I know a lot of you think, oh, I don't need to do that, I'll just skip that part. It's so that we have a really good outside edge that's very clean and not jagged looking. So please don't skip this part. Maybe sometime I should show what it looks like if you don't have that clean edge, and you'll know more what I'm talking about. But I don't want to wreck this drawing, so we're going to do it right. So we got the whole dark area done. It might take you just a second to finish that up. What the heck? How did I get on there? All right, and then the last final touch, like I said, this poor little guy is kind of sad, and this is from the original drawing. I'm just copying what I see here. A great big teardrop coming off this side, and a great big teardrop coming off this side. He's just a little bit sad. He's having kind of a Monday on a Thursday. Does anybody need more time to fill in the coloring part? Raise your hand if you do, so I know, because I don't want to get too far ahead. Okay, I don't see any hands. All right, so the next one is a completely different style than anything we've done before, and a completely different style from pretty much anything I've ever seen submitted before. So I really like that fact, because it's different. So kudos to your creativity on this one. So now we're doing number 6. That's top right corner, number 6. We're going to do right here. This one's going to be quite different. I'm going to come about 2/3 of the way down, and I'm going to bring a line that goes down and comes up. And this is kind of weird because it goes in and out. I'm going to come outside the main circle, come down and come up. So I'm coming down, and then I'm going to go up and come out the main circle up there, just like that. See how the tag end sticks out past it and sticks out past it here? Just a little bit right here and a little bit more on that side. I really like this character. Okay, that is going to be the upper lip basically, and here's where the lower lip's going to go. We're going to put a line that gets close to this one but doesn't touch it. And it's going to start outside. It's going to come up and get really close, and then it's going to go away from it and come outside again, just like that, kind of like a basketball. You better go quick because I'm going to just keep going. All right, so this one goes in and out, and I'm just going to stop for now on that. We're going to come back and do a lot more detail work on that, but this is basically where the teeth are going to go in here. This is the inside of the mouth right here, and this is like the upper lip, lower lip. We got lots more we're going to do. So now we're going to worry about the eye, and this is kind of like a giant check mark right here. And that's kind of what makes it kind of cool. So it comes down here like this. It's really close to the mouth right here, and then it's going to curve back up here. It's going to come back up. It's going to come outside the line and then hook right there. So you want a little hook when it comes out. So you go down, up, big letter V, a little longer on this side with a little hook on the end. And I don't know if they copied this or they put it together on their own, I don't know, but it's turned out good. And Now we're going to put a parallel line that follows this line, but is much shorter. It's going to start clear down here and follow the line, curve at the bottom, and then this one's going to come up, parallel, 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 and then it's going to just be a little higher, and it's not as hard of a hook on the end. Just barely curves just a little bit. Okay. Very expressive, though. I really like this. And the eye opening is going to be a little different on this. The teeth are going to be a little different on this. This will all come together in a minute. This looks a lot like what I would expect like on a sports logo or something, like on a sports t-shirt. It would work really well like on a basketball or a baseball type team. Okay, we're going to make a teardrop shape here. So we're going to come right here and then curve it back around just like that. That's just basically a letter J. If I turn it like this, see, that's just a backwards J or a fish hook. That's all that is. And we're going to come over here and we're going to do the same thing. Bring another one, comes up here and hooks back around. Same shape on both sides. Okay, then we're just going to put a curved line about halfway. A little curved line right there, and a little curved line right here, just like that. We'll come back and finish this later. Right now we're just getting our foundation down. Okay, so this is kind of like eyebrows and a brow right here, and then right between it, I put a little expression line. It's kind of like a little smiley face right here. It kind of comes in right here, and that just kind of reinforces this shape here. So it's just right between the eyes there. We need a little more expression below this lip here. So we're going to come down a ways, and we're going to let this one stick out. It's going to go right there. And then we're going to bring a bigger one, longer one, and go right there. Okay. This one has some pretty cool teeth. You'll have to kind of pay attention as I draw them. The person that did it did a really good job on theirs. Hopefully ours will come out as well. But before I do that, I'm going to come around, and I want everyone to do this. Go ahead and darken your circle, because most of you probably drew it light, or at least you should have, in case we had to erase. But I'm not actually going to have to erase any of the outside of the circle. So I'm carefully now taking my time, trying to stay on my original line, turning my paper as I do this, trying to darken that outer line of that main circle. I'm almost there. Okay, now that's super clear on there. Now we're going to zoom in just a little tighter, because when I go to do this next part, I want to do it like they did and hopefully not mess it up. Okay, so I'm going to show you what it's going to look like so you have an idea. Okay, this is the original that I'm going from, and we're going to draw these teeth on here, and then we'll color the eyes in. But those teeth are pretty dang cool. So we'll do the easy one first. That's the one on this side. So it's about halfway down. I'm going to put a light line here just so I know where to put it. And I'm going to come along here, and then I'm going to put a little bump in there, and then I'm going to keep going, and then curve it back up to the top, just like that. See that shape and that shape? Pretty much the same. That's what we're trying to do. And like I say, this is the easier one, because all we got to do now is come just a little inside, not out here, but just a little inside, just like they did, and bring that line down, and that gives us our teeth for this side. Now we'll do the tricky side. And it's not that tricky, it's just different than the other side. So this one I'm going to bring a curved line, and I'm inside this line. So I'm going to bring a curved line about halfway down, and then I'm going to hook it up just a little ways, like that. I'm going to come back down to the same spot that I was before and bring it across. Then I'm going to put a little point like that, and then just a little line. We'll have to make a slight adjustment right here. They filled it in a little bit dark, and that's what we're going to do after we just take a line right here and curve it up to that upper tooth. I'm just going to come in here and kind of darken that little line in right there. I'll just bring it across. I'm going to darken this line in just a little bit too because it looks better. Just like that. And now we have those teeth. And that's quite a bit like the original now, okay? Very close. Like I say, whoever did this one, they did a really good job on those teeth. Actually, it's a good drawing all the way around. All right, I think we only got one thing left, and that is to put a little shiny spot on the eye right there, and a little shiny spot on the eye right here, and then color the darn thing in black except for the shiny spot. Which really helps with the expression on this. That coloring that eye in black like that really kind of lights that up. Okay, I quite like this because it's so different than so many others that I've seen over the years. It's just a few lines, but it causes a ton of expression. It's really good. Now this same person had another one that was more like some of the standard ones, but it was very well done too. We're not going to do it, but I'm just going to show it to you. So this is the one they had here, and that's the one right there. That one's really good too. Very well done. Totally different style, this one from this one, but both are good. Now we're going to start changing things up. Anybody need more time to finish that one up? Okay, now we're going to go down to number 7. Number 7 is in the bottom what side? Thank you, bottom left. Make sure you know your left from your right. So we're down here, bottom left, not bottom right, bottom left. Hopefully you know your left from your right and your top from your bottom. Is it? If you guys need to take a quick second and sharpen your pencil, go ahead, but do it fast because the video is running. It just makes for a longer video. Daisy, I did grade yours and put it in your SIS. Okay. Come on, guys, there's a sharpener back here. There shouldn't be all 10 people there. Let's just get them sharpened and let's get back. Hurry. Let's go. All right, I think we'll start with the mouth on this one, and it has a giant mouth on it. So coming down here, bottom left, we're going to make like a really big smiley face that goes almost all the way across. Just like that. Really big smile. Notice it's pretty close to the bottom edge there, but not right on it. So there's a little distance between it, but it's a big one. And the shape is going to look a little bit like a pickle, because we're going to come up to the end after we got our smiley face, and we're going to curve around and then just bring it back down. Curve that around. So this kind of follows this, but it makes it look like a big old pickle on the bottom. If yours doesn't look like a pickle and it's too skinny, make it wider from here to here. If this side is wide and this side's narrow, try to even it out a little bit. So it could look like a pickle, or if I came in here and put a mouth and a little smiley thing, it'd look like a clown where they just painted around their mouth kind of thing. But that's not what we're doing. Just a little correction in there. All right, now we're going to put a circle just about right in the middle. I'm going to draw this light. It's a big circle. Let me draw it light to start with until I get it as circle-y as I can get it. All right, so this is like a cyclops. We're going to put this round eye right in the middle. Got that big old round eye right in the middle. Now it's so much fun, I'm going to put another big circle in the middle of that one. So it looks like a donut or a Cheerio right in the middle of my page. Right in the middle of my face. So draw a donut. If yours doesn't look like a donut, erase it, make it look like a donut. This is another one of those that was quite expressive and well done. Before we go any further, if your main circle is really light, like you should have drawn it, let's go ahead and darken this in now. I'm looking ahead and seeing that we're not going to have to erase anything on it. I'm going to make this main circle good and dark. It also makes it easier for you to see up there, but also makes it easier for me to grade when I go through and look at them. And also makes for a better finished drawing. Okay, so now we got a good dark circle going around it. And we got a donut and a pickle. Quite the drawing. Okay, we're going to put an eyebrow above this donut. So I'm going to kind of follow the shape of the top of the donut, you know, kind of a nice curved line. But then I'm going to put another curved line up here, and I'm going to connect the two. Just like that, and now we have a gigantic eyebrow on our cyclops looking thing. Okay, the next thing I'm going to do after this is I'm going to put some ears on this, and I want them straight across from each other. So here's how I'm going to do this. I'm going to put a little line right here. See, I want a little line right here. It's kind of between the eyebrow and the donut and the eye. So like where that space is, I'm going to come straight over and I'm going to put just a little mark right there. And I'm going to come over here and put a little mark right here because I want these right straight across from each other. Then when I draw these ears, they're a little bit different shape. They're kind of like a letter C and a backwards C, but they're a little bit longer. And like this, another one sticks out kind of like that. Okay, they kind of stick out to the side. Then I'm going to put a parallel line on the inside of it. It's the same shape. It creates the inside of the ear. Hopefully you can see those, okay? And it was important that we had those across from each other because we're going to put horns on this guy, and this shows us where to start our horn. Because we're going to come up here and put a horn and come back down, start right here and put a horn and come back down, and that kind of gives us a guideline. So here's where I'm going to put the horn. I want these horns going up, so it curves up like that. I'm going to come over here and I'm going to put one up here, curving up like that. So a nice curved line on either side. Biggest problem I've seen with some of the horns we've done before is getting them too skinny. So we don't want this too skinny. So I'm going to move over at least an inch, okay? And then I'm going to curve a line that comes up to this. So I'm right here and I'm curving it. I'm looking where I'm going so that I end up there, and then I'm going to come over here at least an inch. I'm looking where I'm going and come up to the point. Now he has two big horns on top of his head. And the artist in this case chose to make it striped horns, so that's what we're going to do. So I'm going to kind of show you where we're going with this. I'm going to give you a sneak preview again on this one. This is the little character we're doing, and it's a cool little character. So with that, we're going to come along here, put two lines right here. I'm going to curve mine slightly because this is a round object. And I'm going to put just a couple of stripes. Mine aren't going to match exactly like they did on theirs, but close enough. We'll come back and color those later. Now normally I would save these little expression lines for last, but I'm going to put them in now, and then we're going to spend some time on the teeth because the teeth are pretty detailed and they're really good, and we want to try to get them as close as we can to what the original is. So right above here, we're going to put just a little tiny expression line right here. Just a little curved line right there, and then just a little bitty one over here. I apologize. Okay, little bitty one right here and a little bitty one right there. Then below the mouth, we're going to put a little bitty one on the right side here. Just a little bitty one right there. And then in the upper corners of the mouth, we're going to put one that follows the corner there and one that follows the corner there, just like that. So we've got all kinds of expression going on. Now to do the teeth. I'm going to have to get creative with this, and hopefully it works. So here's our middle, right here. Everybody watch on this part, because this is the technical part. So right below this one, I'm going to come down here. I'm coming down a little ways, and I'm going to put a U shape right there. And then I'm going to put another one next to it, and another one next to that, just like that. Okay, don't bring it too far down here, because I got to have room for teeth down here too. Down here it's going to be a little bit different. I'm going to come along here and I'm going to put an upside down U right here, right here. Then I'm going to put another one right there and another one over here. Okay, so I got 3 teeth on the top and 4 on the bottom. And hopefully this works out. We're just going to see. By the way, whoever drew this, great job on those teeth. Like, fantastic job on those teeth. All right, so the next one is a fang, and it's going to come down closer. That, and then curve back up, and then one more little tooth like that. We'll just go ahead and bring that right back into the top, and we're going to come over here and we're going to do a little fang, and then one more little tooth that goes right into the top of the mouth. So you'll know whether your proportions are on or off here in just a second, because it's a little tricky. And then we need a bottom fang, but it's going to be a long one. It comes up to the right of this one, comes up, and then comes right back down to the bottom lip. And this one comes up to the left of this fang, just like that. Now mine are a little closer together, my teeth, than it is on the original, but I still have space between my upper teeth and my lower teeth. That's what's important, okay? This one's going to take a minute because we got lots of coloring we got to do. How are we doing on those teeth? Did anybody need any help or something on those? Because if you did, bring it to me now and fix it real quick. But does anybody need more time on those teeth? That's the next question for you. Let me see it real fast. These are too far down. These teeth need to be clear like this, and that way when you do it, it's up here. Okay, and then make this fang and this fang a lot thicker. Okay. All right, inside the ear, we're just going to color that in like a medium gray, medium dark gray. Poof, just do that really quick. Come over here and do the same thing on the other ear. My ears are not perfectly the same size, but they're close enough. And it's all right because it's a little monster, so it can have some variation. Then, whatever color we colored those inside those ears, let's go ahead and do the same thing with that eyebrow. I don't want it necessarily black, but I do want it kind of a dark gray. Keeping my lines close together so it doesn't make it all scribbly. You know what? I've just changed my mind on this eyebrow. Let's make it black. And part of the reason is because we did a drawing on the other side and some of those lines are like poking through on my drawing. And if we just make this black, that will help make some of that go away. Whoops, there we go. Why don't you jump up and touch that screen, please? Thank you. Okay, there you go. Perfect, thank you. All right, stripes on the horns. You can decide which ones you want to have black or have white. I'm going to just start at the tip right here, and I'm going to make this one black, go around the edge. Fill it in black. This isn't exactly like the original that I'm looking at, but like I say, close enough. We're just making stripes on these horns. Some ways, maybe on the original, they might have done a better job on the stripes than I did. But we still get the idea just fine. I think they did 2 stripes and we're going with 3. All right, so if you did that on one side, go over to the other side and start with the very one at the very tip and do the same thing. And then just skip. I'll be curious to see how you guys do with this one, because this one had some challenges that were a little tougher than some of the others. The teeth on this one and the horns tend to be what a lot of people struggle with. So hopefully it wasn't too painful for you. Yeah, you're fine. It's all right, it's a monster. Okay, so now we got those on there. Let's come down to the eyeball, and we're going to put just a little bitty shine, kind of offset from the center. I don't want it right in the middle. They didn't draw it right in the middle, and I think it's better than if you drew it right in the middle. In fact, it would look weird if we put it right in the middle. So good job on whoever drew this and where you place that little shine. Well done. And it's a little thing, but it's kind of a big thing with how the expression goes in the end. Okay. Okay, now this last part is where we got to be really careful, because we got to go in between all these teeth and try to make a nice smooth edge and not a jagged edge. And I keep talking about smooth edge and jagged edge, so if I have these teeth and they look like this, I've got this fang coming down, and then I've got this, and I got to make this part black. Here's what happens if you don't come around these lines, and you come in here and you kind of go like this and you color it. Then you color it in. And instead of having nice smooth teeth, you get these really jagged looking teeth in there. And that's not what we want. We want them to look nice and smooth. So to do that, we're going to take our time and be very careful and go around all these teeth before we even bother to fill in the rest of the black. So it's like taking that line that's already on there and making it thicker. What that does is it gives us a good clean line to the inside, which will be the edge of the tooth. And the person that did this one did a really good job of that. Go around all those teeth before I even worry about anywhere else on that. Now I'll go around the outer edge of that mouth right here in the corner. Do the same over here. Okay, now that all that's been outlined, now it's much easier because I don't have to worry about going inside my teeth. I just got to fill in, I just got to go inside the white part that's left between the teeth and color that all in. And then I'll do the corners of the mouth last. But I want that jet black as I can get it. Here's what I'm going to do. Zoom it in on that so you can see what that should look like. colored in and finished. All right, so last night while I was trying to fall asleep, I was actually thinking about you guys, believe it or not. I was. And I was thinking, when was the last time that I had a group of seventh graders, this many in one class, did really well? It's not really a weekend, everybody did really well. It's anywhere from, like I said, pretty good to really good. Most of the time in a class, you have some kids that just struggle, just super hard for them. And it wouldn't even look like it. It wouldn't even look remotely like this. And then you have the upper end, and then you got a bunch of people in the middle. This class, everybody's above the middle. This is how rare this is. So you understand how rare this is. I was thinking last night, how long has it been? It's 18 years since I had a class with this much. So it's a real thing, and I appreciate it. And it's nice. It makes it fun to teach. Now mine, when you look at it, this is kind of funny. It looks like it's got light spots, but if you go back and look at it like this, it's all filled with dark. Just that bright light shining down on it makes it look a little lighter than what it actually is. So once we have this finished up, almost about where we're at in class, so I'm not going to do any more on it. We'll do the most detailed one tomorrow. But here's what's going to happen tomorrow. We'll do the most detailed one tomorrow, and if there's class time left, we're going to have to figure out the rest of the class. So I think we should be able to do that. So go ahead and fold these in half one, set them on the back table, we'll put our chairs up, and we'll be ready to go. How many chapters got the third one? We should write about that. Did I stop it? Did I actually? Nope, I didn't stop it.